Hi, and welcome back to our series on Japanese pottery. My name is Yago Colas, and I'm half of the team behind Hashi Japanese Pottery Plus, a shop and gallery in Easthampton, Massachusetts. Last time, we explored the hallmarks of the Japanese ceramic tradition. But we wouldn't be here today if those philosophies had remained within Japanese borders. So today, we'll look at how Japanese pottery evolved in its movement across the globe. In the early 20th century, a remarkable exchange took place among Shoji Hamada, Bernard Leach, and Suetsu Yanagi. Their friendship formed a bridge, Hamada bringing Japanese sensibility to the West, Leach carrying it back to the English-speaking world, and Yanagi giving it philosophical grounding through the Minge, or folk craft, or art of the people movement. When American studio potters encountered this trio's ideas, it changed everything. Clay was no longer seen as a means of decoration, but as a path toward presence and connection. Today, many American potters, including those at Hashi, trace their lineage, spiritually if not directly, to that conversation that began almost a century ago. This is where the lineage begins. Shoji Hamada in Mashiko, Japan. You can feel the Minge spirit here, simplicity, usefulness, and beauty born of process. The glaze breaks softly at the rim. The brushwork feels spontaneous yet assured, and the form itself, quietly balanced without striving, seems to breathe. For Hamada, the tea bowl wasn't a stage for expression. It was a vessel for humility, a record of the meeting between hand, clay, and fire. Here's Bernard Leach, the English potter who carried Hamada's ideas westward. He lived and worked in Japan for years, then founded the Leach Pottery in St. Ives, with Hamada as both friend and guide. In this bowl, you can sense that translation, a form shaped by Japanese ideals of naturalness and imperfection, yet fired in Cornish clay, with an English sense of proportion. Leach saw pottery as a meeting place between cultures, a way of reconciling East and West through the discipline of the hand. Leach's student, Warren Mackenzie, brought that sensibility home to Minnesota in the early 1950s. He believed that a pot only becomes complete when it's used, that beauty is not static, but lived. He wanted people to live with beauty, not collect it. You can feel that in this bowl. The openness of the form, the generosity of the surface, the quiet confidence of something made to be handled, not displayed. Mackenzie carried Hamada's and Leach's teachings into the rhythms of everyday American life, transforming philosophy into practice at the dinner table. And one of Mackenzie's students, Randy Johnston, later traveled to Japan to study with Tatsuzo Shimaoka, who had apprenticed under Hamada himself. So now the circle closes. In Johnston's tea bowl, you can see the lineage alive, the earthy clay, the soft flashing from the kiln, the slight asymmetry that makes it feel both natural and deliberate. It's the dialogue of two traditions now intertwined, the Japanese reverence for process and the American impulse toward reinvention. Thanks again so much for being here. Please join us for part 5, when we will look at how our potters at Hashi draw upon and transform this tradition.